out here after 30 years, yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Yeah, so they come out to say it, tell me, hey, it is right where they said it was, and I'm looking, I'm like, what they got? Man, these people come out that joint with that Bethlehem, like, you know, they found this in my cell. I'm like, oh, no, ain't no way. Ain't no way. They saying the joint come out there, man, the people locking me up. I'm telling you right now, man, I'm screaming bloody murder. I'm like, what? Because I know I don't got that in there, and that ain't mine. That's somebody else. That ain't mine. And I know what mine's at, and it ain't even in the room. So it's crazy. And I'm like, these people set me up like this, man. They set me up because they keep on running down on my people in the visit room. They don't find nothing. They keep running down on me. They don't find nothing. They keep locking me up. And they don't, never had no reason to hold me. So I'm thinking in my mind now, okay, so now they're going to set me up. They're going to put a knife on me so they can get rid of me for good. You know what I'm saying? Because a knife that's a big charge. You know what I'm saying? You get caught with that Bethlehem, man, you ain't no telling how long you be back there in that box, or if they're going to transfer you because they don't know if you got some type of serious beef going on. So I'm thinking this administration to put this knife in my cell because they so sick of these people coming at them about me doing this, me doing that, writing all these snitch notes, and they can't never catch me. So they saying, okay, since we can't catch you, then we gonna catch you. So man, I'm back there. I'm blood mad. I'm super mad. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to figure out what I got to do, man. But I'm like, these people is crazy, man. So I'm back there in the hole, man. I'm trying to complain, but then when you look at it, it's like, who you complaining to? I'm trying to write up paperwork. Who you writing to? If the administration put the knife on you, then who you complain to? You know what I'm saying? That's just like telling somebody, oh, this beating you up, man. It hurts. They don't care. They the one who doing it. So, man, I ain't know what to do, man. So, in my mind, the only thing that came up to me that I heard people do before, I said hunger strike. I'm just going to go on a hunger strike. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat no food or no nothing because, you could go on a hunger strike in prison and, yeah, that don't crucial. That don't crucial, but they got to get you some type of assistance or something before you just die. You know what I'm saying? That's what they supposed to do. Not saying they're going to, but that's what they supposed to do. They supposed to be able to, they have to start monitoring you after you don't eat for a certain amount of time. And if you don't eat for like 2-3 days, they got to start, sending the nurse around, getting your vitals, making notes on why you ain't eating, what's your health, what's your weight, what's your, status. They got to do all that to be checking your vital organs. Your organs going to shut down after you don't eat for a certain amount of time. So they supposed to do all of that when they know that you are legitimately on a hunger strike. Now, when you in segregation, it's easy for you to be on a hunger strike and they demand you because they the one who got to bring your food. You can't go to commissary. You can't get up and go walk and go to chow. They got to bring you food and literally give it to you through a tray slot. So being that they got to give it to you through a tray slot, when you on a hunger strike, what you do is you write a note and put it up on your window. You got a little window by your door like this, little window. Then you got the little tray slot down the bottom. You put that little note up on your window right there and say, I'm on a hunger strike. I refuse all food till I get transferred or till I can speak to somebody that can give me some help, whatever it is the case may be. So they'll bring the food to your door anyway and ask you want this tray? And you say, nah. If they try to leave it right there, you leave it right there till they come pick it up. They're supposed to make notation that you didn't eat it. All the food is still on it and intact, so they know how long you haven't eaten because they know they have to feed you. So I decided to say I'm going on a hunger strike. Now, I ain't going to tell you no lie. I'm scared to death because, like I say, I know these people will literally let you die, And then I ain't never been on no hunger strike, so I don't know if I can actually do it. But I know I got to do something because I do feel like this is a dangerous situation, man. If these people put a knife on me, what will they do? You know what I'm saying? Will they put something in my food? Will they? I don't know. I don't know. I'm green at the time. I don't know how far these people go. I know I ain't had no knife in my cell. and all of a sudden it just popped up. So I don't know. I'm nervous for real. So when I get on the phone with my people, I tell my people, man, the people that set me up, they put a knife in my cell, man, they got me back in the hole. I ain't gonna eat. I'm going to hunger strike. I ain't gonna eat till they get me up off here. I don't trust these people, man, or they let me out. Something going on. They telling me, man, you better eat. Don't do that. These people, I don't care. I'm like, I ain't eating nothing. And, you know, they getting worried. They getting scared, you know. So my people start calling up there, flooding them with calls and everything, and of their concern, telling them, you know, what's going on? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Why is, you know what I'm saying, he up in that hole like that, and somebody put a knife in and said he ain't had no knife. Why y'all got him up in there and then he on a hunger strike? We want answers. Why? So these people had to answer these phones and stuff all day. Now, the only person I had known that had went through a hunger strike and went through one on there, a dude named Real Deal, right? We call him Real Deal, like Holyfield, Real Deal. So, man, I remember Real Deal went on that hunger strike. That was in your mind too, because the only thing you know something about something that you never did is by what done already passed. So I can remember Real Deal being on that hunger strike back there, man. He wanted to get off the compound so bad they didn't want to let him off. They had him back there in the hole. They was dragging him. So they opened the door one day and put the dog in there on Real Deal. They let the dog go in there on there because he was turning the cell up. They was scared to go in there because he go hard. So they let the dog in there on Real Deal. Real Deal killed the dog. Real Deal break the dog neck and they crack the door back open like that, and Real Deal throw the dog back out in the block, man. I mean, some real gangster-ish. You know what I'm saying? So he killed the dog and they take him to court and give him 5 more years for killing the dog. So he was protesting against that, like, how you gonna give me some time for killing a dog and the dog trying to hurt me? You know, so he tried to protest against that, and he go on a hunger strike. Now, let me tell y'all something. When this man go on a hunger strike, everybody on the compound, like I say, Mecklenburg is a small population. So people heard about he on a hunger strike back there in the hole, whatever. People is dragging him. They mad because he killed a dog. You know, they ain't giving him the proper treatment and this, that, and the third. And man, I remember going to a visit one time, and I was coming out to visit, and they was bringing a segregation inmate to a visit. When you in SEG, you go to a visit in handcuffs and shackles, and they take you in there. You got to talk on the phone. It's non-contact visit. So they was bringing the inmate to go to the non-contact visit because he was in SEG. And I was coming out, and they don't supposed to walk you by an inmate when he cuffed up and shackled up, you know, because you can have beef with him and you can attack him. So that's illegal right there. But as I was coming out, he was coming in. So I did walk right by him. And when I walked by him, he was like, what's up, Banky? Because I looked at him, he looked so small and frail. I'm like, what's up? He was like, you know who this is? I was like, nah. He said, it's Real Deal. And man, I was just totally blown away, man. Man, Real Deal was weighing like about 95, 100 pounds. And Real Deal was bigger than what I am now. Real Deal was big, and that hunger strike almost killed him, man. The people almost let that man die back there. You know, he had been hospitalized a couple of times back there, man. Everything had messed up his organs and stuff from that hunger strike and everything. So I had that in my mind, was the only information I knew about a hunger strike. So I was scared, you know what I'm saying, what I was getting myself into. But I know once I get myself into something, I got to commit to it. You know, and I got to follow it through. So I was scared, like, how far are they going to let me go? Am I, you know what I'm saying, am I in danger? You know, and I had some dudes back there, man, that was like working and stuff like that. And they was trying to sneak food to me, get me a little bite of this every now and then, get me a little bite of something to eat. It wasn't much, but it was enough that I could put a little something in me. But unbeknownst to them, they thinking I'm getting nothing, you know. But I get a little something every now and then, and you know, I was playing it all the way too, man, and I could feel myself, you know, truly getting a little, you know, a couple of days, it's affecting me already because I'm not used to not eating, you know. So yeah, and but then you had my people calling, and they pressing them like, what's going on with him? What, you know what I'm saying? Why, you know, why is he telling me this? Why is he saying that he ain't, you know, have nothing in his cell? Somebody put something in his cell. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Where did this knife come from all of a sudden? So they ain't really trying to answer no questions to the people on the street. But when your people on the street is persistent And they're telling them, well, we contacting the lawyer. Well, we gonna call to the up front to Richmond. Richmond is the central base of where the head of the Virginia prisons is based upon Richmond. If I remember, it was like called CCB or something, Central Control Base, where they got the regional director, the deputy director, and all of them. These are the people that oversee all of the Virginia prisons. So I got people calling up there as well as calling, the prison all day. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about all day. They flooding it, because I ain't calling home because you in the hole. You can't call but once a month. So the last call that they heard from me is, I'm going on a hunger strike, you know what I'm saying? And the people done set me up with a knife. So my people is majorly concerned about me, my well-being, and my health. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a crazy, crazy situation, man. So, a little time go by, man, maybe like a week or something, and I'm starting to feel the effects of the situation. But I can remember that the people came around to talk to me and asked me what I want. And I told them I wanted to get up off of there because, y'all put a knife on me and we ain't put no knife on you. We ain't doing. I said, man, y'all put a knife on me. I ain't had no knife in my cell. And ain't nowhere in the world you gonna convince me that I had a knife in my cell. I know what's in my cell, dog. I ain't had no knife in my cell. So they were like, no, we don't do stuff like that. People said they wrote notes and said you had a knife in the cell. They said that you got a weapon in there, and we acting upon the note to come in there and see if you got a weapon. So I'm like, man, ain't nobody wrote you no note that said I had no weapon in my cell. How would someone know what's in my cell? So they said that's what happened. That's what happened. So I'm like, yeah, all right. So I ain't eating. You know what I'm saying? You gotta eat something, man. You gotta eat something. People calling up here, you gotta eat something. I said, I ain't eat nothing, man. I'm not eating nothing. So that was like a high level dude, maybe like a captain or something I remember talking to. So then, man, a couple of days go by, man, and the major and assistant warden them come by there, right? And they asked me, come knock on my door and say, why you ain't eating? And I told them the same thing. I say, listen, man, the people, y'all put a knife on me, man. I don't know why y'all did that. Y'all trying to cross me up. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't trust y'all, man. Y'all probably put something in my food. I got to go. They said, well, look, you got to stop, man. You got to eat something. Your people calling up here all day. They tying up the lines and everything. You got to go ahead on and eat something, man. Ain't nobody put no knife on you, man. The people wrote a note on you saying that we had a couple of notes that say that you had a knife in your cell. You had a weapon in your cell and you was going to do something to somebody. So we come and we find a knife. We got to follow protocol and lock you up. I said, man, that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? So he reached in his pocket and pulled out some notes. And he's give them to me just to look at. Now, whether they was authentic or not, but it looked authentic to me. It's on inmate, papers. And I read it, Joe, and I'm reading them, and it's literally saying, inmate, such convict, such, it says such, got a knife in his cell. He be acting like he running the pod, and he got a knife in there. He told me he gonna do something to somebody. Y'all better get him out here before we kill him. Enough information to make them be concerned and say, we got to check this out. I read another one say, yeah, y'all better get him out here. And P.S., he got them knives in the cell. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed kind of strange to me, but at the same time, I can't wrap my head around it. So I'm like, boom, are they lying to me or is this fake or whatever? Is they just trying to get me to eat? Either way, I ain't trying to eat nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to eat nothing at all. Then they just break it down to me. They say, listen, your people is tying up the lines. We got a lot of things going on up here. You can't be, you know what I'm saying? They can't be calling up here all day. Just tell them stop calling, man. You got to eat something to get them calm down. Let this call and we'll bring you the phone and you can call them and let them know you ate something. Just take a look, eat something. I said, I ain't eating nothing and I ain't calling my people and they ain't going to stop calling, man, until they know I'm all right. And I'm not all right, man. I'm not all right. You know what I'm saying? So they ended up leaving and it was crazy because later on, what I found out was that they calling up there and they is making all this fuss, but they already under pressure. The prison is already under pressure because then I get the word back there that the dude is on death row, because death row is on Mecklenburg at the same time. These people that's been sentenced to death penalty, they on Mecklenburg at the same time. That's all there. Death row and all these so-called out of control, convicts. So dude on death row is scheduled to die this month by, the electric chair or whatever it is that they do, electric chair, lethal injection, I think it was the electric chair. He's scheduled to die. He has somehow got his hands on some heroin or something, and he done OD, right? You can't make this stuff up. You probably can look this stuff up, though. He done OD'd, and he's on death row, the most secure maximum prison in the state of Virginia. And yet, at the same time, he was able to obtain enough heroin to take an OD, which robs them of their chance or their opportunity or the state opportunity of putting him in an electric chair for his crimes or whatever it is. So they under tremendous amount of pressure. People getting ready to lose their jobs all the way up to the wardens, to the officers, because there's going to be a big investigation. How did this happen? How could this man get it? So they taking in calls all day, probably from everywhere, from the governor's office to newspapers to whatever. And then you got my people calling on top of it right at the same time situation, because I'm back there on a hunger strike. So, man, there's a lot of moving parts going on with this, and it's crazy. And they getting overwhelmed by the bigger situation, and my situation is smaller, but my people is making it big because they steady coming at them. So, man, I think another day or something go by, and I never forget this, because this is how I knew and this is how I learned that all the times that I ever, in retrospect after that, or heard about before that, people trying to get transfers, how you got to go through this proper procedure, you got to go through that paperwork, you got to wait 6 months to get transferred, you got to wait for the paperwork to come back, it got to be approved at this level, that level, before all of this can actually happen. Shh. Baloney. Baloney, man. Them people came to me, the warden himself, man, at nighttime, man. It had to be 10, 11, bought me some McDonald's or Burger King or some type of restaurant food. It was still in the bag, man. Come there and try to get me to eat. I'm telling him I'm not eating. He said, please eat, man. You got to eat something. Your people calling up here, man. They tying up the lines. We got things going on. You got to eat something. We gonna, what you want? Which I said, I want to leave, man. I don't trust y'all. I don't know what's going on. Y'all saying people put the knife in my cell. I think y'all put the knife in my cell. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know what to do, man. I don't want to be here. So he said, man, you want to leave? You want to get transferred? I said, yeah. He said, okay. He leave. Man, an hour later, they come back, bring me some paperwork, told me to sign here. I said, what am I signing? They say emergency transfer. I signed it, right? Okay. Man, that next morning, that following morning, I'm on the bus to Greensville Correction Center. This is how I left Mecklenburg and go to Greensville. This is how I leave. That's how I got to Greensville, because I went on a hunger strike because of them finding a knife in my cell and locking me up for that knife, and I didn't have no knife, so they trying to cross me, and I go on a hunger strike. Being that they had this dude on the compound at the same time that OD'd, and he was on death row, and my people was calling and tying up the lines, they found it in their best interest to get rid of me and let me be somebody else's problem. They wanted to get, and I go to Greensville. I get there, you go to segregation though, you still go to segregation because you still got to go through the process of, the charge and everything and getting out of the segregation. So when I get there, I ended up going for the charge, and I ended up beating the charge. All of a sudden now the knife, I beat the knife charge. But y'all ain't want to let me out up there, and y'all all of a sudden got this big knife charge that I done had and everything. But I beat the charge because there ain't nobody come, because even the officers who find the knife on the other institution, in order for you to be found guilty of that charge, they can't write in their testimony. They got to come to that institution and testify against you and tell what happened and how it went down. They never showed up. Charge got dismissed. I got released on the population to Greensville, and that's how I ended up on there and ended up being there for years. I ended up being the institution that I stayed on the most during my 33 years of incarceration. I ended up on there 3 times with a combined total of probably like 13 years on that institution. Never nowhere else even close to that. I never been on another institution more than 4, 5, 6 years at a time. So, yeah, but that's how I ended up being on there, man, by the hunger strike. But let's put it in reverse. Now, after all this is over, in retrospect, you know, things started to unfold themselves. I started to find out more and more information. Now, little do I know, the administration actually didn't put the knife in my cell. That was when I got played and the dudes wanted to get rid of me. It was no other way to get rid of me. They couldn't physically remove me, so they mentally removed me. They out-thumped me. They out-thought me, thumped me, however you want to place it. They was ahead of the game on me. They knew my routine. They watched me. They knew who worked in the booth and how they operated and what they did with the doors. Sometimes you could go up there to somebody at the door. In the booth, they so preoccupied and they there doing their own thing or talking on the phone, doing everything but their job that you can actually say, that's how people get killed in prison too. You could actually say, open cell 24. And without even looking up to see it, it's the dude who's sleeping 24. They'll hit the button, clank, and stay on the phone. Yeah, la. And don't even look. Somebody be go in your cell, take everything you got, go in your cell, destroy your stuff, go in the dude's cell while dude in the cell sleep and stab him. Anything can happen because they not doing their job. They not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? To be what they are, security guards. They're not securing the area. They're not securing the situation. They just be, gossiping on the phone, doing whatever it is that they got to do. So, to the best of my knowledge, what had happened was the dudes applied to get rid of me, man. And what they did was they waited for me to go outside for rec or go to the gym and work out or whatever. And they done snuck in my cell and put the Bethlehem in there, hid it, come out, write the notes to the administration over and over again, let them know it's in there before I find it, cleaning up my cell some. Make sure they keep writing them so they can come find it before I find it. Because back then I wasn't smart enough or penitentiary wise enough to be checking my cell every time I left up out of it, because I just assumed when nobody going in it or couldn't get in it. But every time after that, it became a habit, a routine to check my cell. After those early years, and I went through these experiences. But yeah, man, so that's what they did, man. They snuck in there. They put the Bethlehem in there, and they got me up out of there, bro, and it worked to a T. It worked to a T. Only thing was, their reasoning for it was they wanted to get at Scott. They wanted to get at him. They wanted the drugs. So they figured, if I'm gone, there's a free fall. Which one of us gonna be, get up under him where he gonna give us the drugs? We gonna be the one to be able to sell the weed. We gonna be the one to get it. So that's what they was doing. But that just created beef between dudes in there. Who gonna do this? Who gonna do that? Now, the crazy part was I never ran into Scotty no more. But I heard that the dude that he started getting the drugs to, I knew him too. Dude name was Mike. I just say Mike W. We just call him by his whole real name. Like I say, some of these names is weed because this real stuff, man. And I don't know what these people doing these days. But Mike ended up, rocking with him, man. And Mike wasn't nothing to be played with neither, And I heard, man, through the grapevine that he was getting so much money, man, with Scotty, man, because his mom was bringing him the drugs. The drugs weren't going to stop. His mom bringing it to him. And she make it emphatically clear. As long as her son is safe, she gonna bring them drugs in there. And that's what it was going on. And she was in a wheelchair, so you couldn't even really search her the way they wanted to search her. And plus, she probably was beyond suspicion, So it was crazy. It was a crazy situation. But I heard, man, they was getting so much money together, man, even when Mike got transferred, right, and went to another institution. Scotty went to the hole and stayed back there, ended up getting transferred to the same institution, and they picked right up where they left off, flooding the compound with weed until they both got busted. From what I heard, they both got busted and ended up, going to street court or whatnot. I don't know what happened with the street court with them, but I do remember them getting busted on a whole nother institution on Nottaway, as a matter of fact. But I heard they had made so much paper, man. it won't even funny. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But that's just crazy scenario, crazy situation. These things happen in prison. Stuff will go down, man, and they be so much plotting in and so much scheme and so much con, so much backstabbing, so much larceny, so much greed that it's just overwhelming sometimes, man. But this is all these moving parts you got to deal with every day in prison. Every day. So when I was doing that and I was into that, I couldn't see it as I see it now. But I was in a powder keg of danger at all times. And I was trained to go. I'm with the business whenever it comes. I'm with it, but I don't even acknowledge the danger in it. Not to the extent that it was. All of these situations, man, people could have lost their life at the drop of a dime. Had a dude make a move on me, I'm swinging with bad intentions. I ain't trying to play. I'm going at it. So, and I'm sure they was coming at me the same way. But I say all that to say this. Prison, man, I'm telling you, I don't know what type of vision y'all got of it. I try to paint y'all the best picture I can. And like I just tell you, these is just, man, this is like a couple of months of my life. This situation right here, saying this situation ain't last but months and months and months. That's it. So you talking about 33 years of these type of scenarios and these type of events and these type of activities going on all around me at all times. I'm telling you, it's not a place that you want to be. I hope y'all got something out of this story. I hope y'all got the message that I'm trying to give, and the message is prison ain't for no human being. So if you a human being, you better try to duck prison because it ain't for you, bro. It's definitely not for you. Like I say though, man, it's a blessing in every lesson, man. And the blessing is I survived that situation, man, where my life was on the line so many times, and it was blind ignorance of me not knowing how much danger I was actually in. And it was also God showing me favor for guiding me through, situations that I wasn't smart enough to guide my way through myself. Seeing things that I wasn't smart enough to see, putting them in my favor when they didn't have to turn out in my favor. So that's just a testament, man, to God, man, and the wonders that he can do, because I'm still here, I'm still alive, and I'm here to tell y'all these stories. But I tell y'all these stories so you will never be in these positions. Never be in these positions. Think about all these stories when you out here on the street and you thinking about doing something that might put you in harm's way, doing something that might put you in the penitentiary, making a move, making a lick, trying something that you think gonna give you a heads up. But if it go wrong, leave it alone, bro. Leave it alone. Leave it alone, because everybody loves a winner, but when you lose, you're going to have to lose alone. You're going to be by yourself, with yourself. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this, man. We'll be back with more 33 years of prison stories, man. I love y'all out there for the support, man. Team Banky Pound, stand up. All my members, stand up. DC, stand up. Southeast. Be safe, be smart, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time, man. Boom!
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.